The great movie ride. I have some inside information as a former cast member of Walt Disney World. That being said, I never worked for the ride, and some information might be inaccurate, passed on from person to person in a rumor. There's a lot of stuff in the Yester World video that I never heard of before. I mean, they're probably paid by hours, so they couldn't explain to me everything. The MGM Studios thing is the Wizard of Oz thing in what should have been the end, where they do the Osborne thing, is pretty accurate. It was said by the cast members there. What wasn't mentioned was by 2008, 2009, there was a miscolored wall or door right at the entrance, where supposedly a cast member turned the automatic version of the ride off and crashed it into the wall or door. And you can't see it now because like the ride's not there, but like it was discolored as a result. Like it didn't match up. The alien goo, and they told me this in front of the. I shouldn't say that. She might still be there. Or maybe she quit. I don't know. The alien goo originally was poisoned, and they had kept it there for almost 20 years prior to removing it in 2009. Like people were tasting it, and they just got sick, and then finally in 2009 they just got rid of the goo. Tarzan and the elephant were originally anatomically correct by the Imagineers, and a cast member, and there's a rumor that it was some legacy of the cast members took the loincloth off, and then everyone could see, you know what, from both the elephant and Tarzan. Prior to them chopping it off. The way the tour guys would go from like cowboy, I forget where I went for the cowboy route. This is the great movie stride classic unlock as being a member of Disney. I forgot if we walked through the gangster portion or the cowboy portion to get to where the Indiana Jones is. Like there's like it's sort of like a small Broadway thing, like small corridor. It's not like as big as the tunnels that you can see in like the Walt Disney World 50th anniversary, but like it's a really small thing. It's not that very wide. If you're like certain weight or girth, like you won't be able to go through. Speaking of if I mentioned this, speaking of the Wizard of Oz thing that's supposed to go, yeah, the Witch of the West is the best out of the track. I remember mentioning that. Well, the Wizard of Oz should have showed up, so where all the ride cars show up in the finale room at the end of the day. And they do confirm the story about all. I don't know what the characters would have been, but there was a whole bunch of characters saying hello and thank you for going on the ride. Even as a customer or guest, you could know that the props move around for different stuff. I think the Coca-Cola thing's well known. I actually went on the Great Movie Ride when I was young. I went the Great Movie Ride for traditions and learning about the park, getting accustomed to Hollywood Studios. I also went to this like marketing class, I believe it was. The MGM said it wasn't an MGM rights thing. We believe him or not is totally up to you, but I don't think you will lie about it other than like you just want. It wasn't to like customers, so I don't know why you would hide the business aspects of it. I heard about the Robert Osborne thing, but I never wrote it. Robert Osborne was classic with TCM. I don't mind him being the voiceover, although the cast member that does it is a big part of the whole experience, direction, and like, oh, he's Indiana Jones in the end. I didn't know the Backlash tour was removed. I didn't know that the new Star Wars show, like, it doesn't even get mentioned in the Funkland video about the Sorcerer's Hat, but I didn't know there's a new Star Wars show that replaces the Sorcerer's Hat. I knew when I joined Disney, like Jedi Academy training was very new. Someone I knew from like work eventually got promoted to the sound effect guy there, and then I don't know what happened post-pandemic. What else is there? I remember the wall for the Bugsy Berkeley thing. Mary Poppins was like, obviously easy to get with the rights. I never heard the story about Alien, but that's pretty interesting. Like, other stuff isn't owned by MGM either. Now, MGM is owned by Amazon, oddly enough. Maybe they'll bring back the Green Movie right there. I don't know. Amazon, the Amazon Rainforest, the Amazon theme park. They have the Amazon store, I guess. Usually they want, I don't know, that's what they said in the video. Just well, I'm not sure if it's true or not. You have different amounts of cars in the ride depending on how busy the park was. I don't know if that's how they scheduled the cast members also. There was actually a weird thing. There was like a costume of mine from where I worked in the costume. I came from work wearing it, and people were like, "Why are you wearing that? How did your costume end up being in the ride?" And I have no idea. I was taking the tour. Yeah, they do have like hidden Mickeys there, like especially Indiana Jones, because like you easily put like I didn't know it was part of the actual movie, but I didn't know like the Imagineers put like little things in there to remind themselves that like they're part of the ride and they made that part of the ride or whatever. There's like a little part of it where like Donald Duck is in it and like I think they showed like a Star Wars thing. So like Donald Duck's in it or like Mickey Mouse in it, like they're doing like a mummification in it, which they thought was pretty creepy and unnecessary, but I guess no one not Disney like, but it was like made like at the same time with like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, like a whole bunch of like non very kid friendly Disney movies were being made. And no one was gonna notice it in the ride. I barely could see it until it was pointed out to me. What are your thoughts on Subscribe?